INFJs have fewer friends than most people because their hearts and minds are wired for depth rather than breadth when it has to do with relationships. They move through the world with an intense awareness of the emotional undercurrents around them, sensing authenticity, tension, and unspoken truths in ways that many others might overlook. This sensitivity naturally makes them selective about who they allow into their inner circle. For them, friendship is not a casual arrangement or a matter of convenience. It is a bond that must feel meaningful and sincere. They crave relationships where they can share their innermost thoughts, be completely themselves, and feel genuinely understood. And because such connections are rare, their social circle often remains small. If you're an INFJ who needs clarity, alignment, and a deeper connection with your true self, ensure to check out our INFJ playbook. Inside, you'll find everything you need to reconnect with your true self. The link is in the description of this video. From an early age, INFJs tend to be drawn to solitude or to one-on-one interactions rather than large group dynamics. They're the kind of people who can feel lonely in a crowd because surface-level interactions do not satisfy them. While some thrive on having many acquaintances or participating in every social event, INFJs often retreat to the quiet of their inner world, where they feel most alive and recharged. They prefer deep conversations about dreams, fears, and life's bigger questions over casual chatter. This preference alone filters out many potential friendships, as not everyone is willing or able to meet them at that level of depth. Another reason their friend group remains small is the INFJ's natural caution with trust. They guard their inner world closely and do not reveal their true selves easily. Opening up to someone is an act of profound vulnerability for them, and they need to feel completely safe before they can share their heart without reservation. This means that many people remain friendly acquaintances, while only a very select few are ever allowed to become true friends. Past experiences with betrayal, misunderstanding, or emotional imbalance can make them even more careful, reinforcing their habit of choosing quality over quantity in relationships. Their empathic nature also plays a significant role in keeping their circle small. INFJs absorb the emotions of others like sponges, which can be both a gift and a burden. Spending time with too many people, especially those with chaotic or draining energy, quickly overwhelms them. They often leave social situations feeling exhausted, even if the interactions were pleasant on the surface. This need to protect their emotional and mental energy leads them to maintain only a few close friendships, where the connection feels safe, reciprocal, and nurturing rather than depleting. The rarity of their personality is another contributing factor. INFJs are one of the least common personality types, which means that their way of thinking, feeling, and seeing the world is not easily mirrored in those around them. They notice nuances, question deeper meanings, and often live with a sense of purpose that others may not fully understand. While they can get along with many personality types and even adapt to different social environments, the experience of being truly known and understood is much harder to come by. This scarcity of kindred spirits naturally results in fewer friendships, but the ones they do form are often profound and long-lasting. Another subtle factor is that INFJs often hold themselves to high standards in relationships, just as they do in other areas of life. They are not interested in collecting friendships for the sake of appearances or filling their time with interactions that feel shallow or obligatory. They are looking for alignment, friends whose values, energy, and sincerity resonate with their own. When that alignment is absent, they are more likely to quietly withdraw than to force a connection that feels hollow. This selective nature may be misinterpreted as aloofness or introversion, but in reality, it is an intentional choice to honor the depth of their emotional world. Over time, these tendencies create a life where the INFJ is surrounded by very few, but very meaningful friends. The friendships they nurture are often characterized by profound trust, loyalty, and emotional intimacy. They're the kind of friends who remember small details, offer unwavering support, and are present during both triumphs and trials. Because they pour so much of themselves into these bonds, they simply do not have the capacity or desire to spread their energy across a wide social network. Another reason INFJs have fewer friends than most people is rooted in the way they experience life and relationships. They are not designed for the many. They are designed for the few. Their hearts are drawn to authenticity, their minds are tuned to depth, and their spirits seek the kind of connection that does not come along often. While this can sometimes make their world quieter and more solitary than others, it also makes the friendships they do have immeasurably rich and enduring, reflecting the very essence of who they are. The experience of having fewer friends for an INFJ is deeply intertwined with the way they navigate the world internally. Their inner world is vivid and constantly active, filled with reflections, imagination, and emotional processing that many people cannot see. This rich inner life often creates a sense of separation from others because very few people can meet them at that depth. While most people are content to connect over shared activities or lighthearted conversations, INFJs long for a resonance that goes beyond the surface. They are searching for someone who can understand the unspoken, who can walk with them in the spaces between words, and who sees beyond appearances to the essence of who they are. Because this kind of understanding is so rare, INFJs naturally allow fewer people into their close circle. They move cautiously in relationships, observing before committing, reading energy and intention before opening up. Their intuition gives them a sharp sense of whether someone is authentic or wearing a mask. When they sense pretense, manipulation, or emotional shallowness, they instinctively pull back. This silent filtering process, which happens almost subconsciously, means that many potential friendships end before they even begin. To the outside world, it may seem as if they are being distant or uninterested, but in reality, they are simply protecting their heart from bonds that will not fulfill them. Their empathy, which is often their greatest strength, also demands this selectivity. INFJs absorb the feelings and energy of those around them to such an extent that spending time with the wrong people can be emotionally draining or even harmful. When they maintain too many friendships or immerse themselves in overly social environments, they risk burnout and emotional exhaustion. Their sensitivity compels them to curate their social life carefully, ensuring that the people they allow in are those who bring harmony rather than chaos, understanding rather than indifference. This means they will always prioritize a few deep, nurturing friendships over a wide network of casual ones. Another aspect that contributes to their limited number of friendships is their tendency to retreat and recharge in solitude. While many people rely on social interaction to feel energized, INFJs find their energy in quiet reflection, creativity, and meaningful alone time. This natural inclination to withdraw can create distance from acquaintances and casual friends, as maintaining a wide social circle requires constant interaction and presence. Over time, those who do not understand this need for solitude may drift away, leaving only the relationships that are strong enough to endure the ebb and flow of the INFJ's social energy. INFJs often carry the invisible weight of being misunderstood. Their thoughts are complex, and their emotions run deep, but they rarely reveal the full extent of what they are feeling. Past experiences of opening up to the wrong people, only to be dismissed, judged, or misinterpreted, teach them to be even more cautious. Trust, for an INFJ, is earned slowly and often only after someone has shown consistent authenticity over time. As a result, it is not uncommon for them to go through long periods where they have very few close friends, sometimes only one or two, but those bonds are profoundly intimate and enduring. INFJs are not content with friendships built on convenience, shared routines, or surface-level interactions. Instead, they are drawn to relationships that feel real, profound, and nourishing to the soul. This longing for genuine connection often leaves them standing apart from the casual social structures that many people accept as enough. While others may gather in large groups for fun or keep a long list of acquaintances, an INFJ's heart only invests in bonds where there is true resonance. Their natural intuition also contributes to why they often have a small circle of friends. INFJs can sense when something is off in a relationship long before it becomes obvious. They notice subtle changes in tone, inconsistencies in behavior, and the quiet signals of emotional dishonesty. This ability to read between the lines means that many connections never progress past the acquaintance stage because the INFJ can already feel that the bond lacks the depth or authenticity they need. Rather than forcing friendships that are misaligned, they quietly step back, conserving their energy for relationships that truly matter. Even in the friendships they do form, INFJs often move slowly and deliberately. They observe people over time, noticing how they treat others, how they handle conflict, and whether their actions match their words. To an INFJ, trust is sacred, and it is built in layers, not given freely. Because of this careful approach, years might pass before someone becomes part of their inner circle. But once that bond is formed, it is unwavering, and the INFJ will invest in it wholeheartedly, offering loyalty, empathy, and a depth of understanding that is rare and irreplaceable. INFJs also hold a unique definition of what friendship truly means. They are not impressed by numbers, popularity, or appearances. For them, a friend is someone who understands their silences, who sees beyond their smiles, and who can sit with them in both joy and sorrow without judgment. They are looking for a soul-level connection that is so rare it might only come along a few times in their entire life. This high standard naturally limits the number of friendships they form, but it also ensures that the ones they do have are meaningful and enduring. INFJs are often described as old souls, and this plays a significant role in why their social circle remains small. While others may chase excitement, trends, or fleeting social pleasures, INFJs are drawn to purpose, meaning, and authenticity. They see time and emotional energy as sacred and refuse to invest in people who do not align with their inner values. A conversation about the weather or the latest gossip feels like a performance to them, while a conversation about personal growth, dreams, fears, or life's deeper meaning feels like home. Since most people are not inclined to live in this space of emotional and intellectual depth, the INFJ naturally ends up with fewer, but much richer, friendships. Trust is the cornerstone of an INFJ's friendships, and it takes a long time for that trust to develop. They do not give pieces of themselves easily because they know how deeply it will hurt if that trust is broken. Many INFJs carry old scars from betrayals, misunderstandings, or one-sided relationships that taught them to approach new connections with caution. They would rather remain alone than risk opening their hearts to someone who cannot meet them with the same depth and loyalty they offer. This makes their eventual friendships rare but unshakably strong, built on a foundation that can weather distance, silence, and the trials of life. INFJs also have a natural rhythm of withdrawal and return in their social lives. Even with close friends, they need long periods of solitude to recharge and reconnect with themselves. This can unintentionally thin their social circle because many people do not understand or accept this need for space. Unlike extroverts who maintain friendships through frequent interaction, INFJs sustain theirs through sincerity and depth, not constant presence. Those who cannot handle their ebb and flow of energy usually drift away, leaving behind only the few who truly understand them. INFJs see their small circle of friends as a safe haven where masks are dropped, where unspoken understanding flows naturally, and where the connection feels more like family than friendship. The result is a life that may look socially quiet to outsiders, but to the INFJ, it is full of richness and meaning. They walk through the world with a handful of deep, soul-level bonds rather than a crowd of casual companions. This scarcity of friendships does not make their lives lonely. It makes their friendships sacred. Their fewer friends are the people who truly see them, understand them, and hold a place in their heart for life. In a world that often prizes quantity over quality, the INFJ chooses depth every single time, and in doing so, their life is quietly but profoundly fulfilled. For INFJs, having fewer friends than most people is not only the result of personality, but also of the emotional landscape they carry within them. They are born with an intrinsic need for depth and harmony, which naturally filters out many social possibilities. Their hearts are wired for resonance, for relationships where words are almost unnecessary, because understanding flows in silence. When that resonance is absent, the bond feels empty, and the INFJ quietly steps away. To outsiders, this can appear as aloofness or social withdrawal, but in reality, It is a form of self-protection and a commitment to authenticity that defines their approach to human connection. INFJs maintain fewer friendships because of their intolerance for superficiality. They instinctively see through facades and can detect when interactions are driven by convenience, social performance, or hidden motives. While some people enjoy the energy of casual company, small talk, and fleeting companionships, INFJs find it draining to linger in spaces where they cannot be their true selves. Every interaction that lacks authenticity takes an emotional toll because INFJs do not know how to give less than their full presence. This is why they will often choose solitude over company that does not nurture their spirit. Another quiet truth is that INFJs have a subtle but profound fear of emotional entanglement with the wrong people. Because they are natural empaths, they absorb the emotions of others almost like a sponge. Being around too many people, especially those with chaotic or negative energy, can leave them mentally and physically exhausted. Their circle is therefore small by design, a conscious choice to preserve their well-being. By keeping only a few close friends, they can invest fully without losing themselves in emotional noise. This is also why their friendships are rarely casual. They prefer bonds where there is mutual understanding, emotional safety, and trust. INFJs also move through life with a constant awareness of time and meaning. They recognize how fleeting life can be, and they guard their emotional investments with the same care that others might guard their money or treasures. A day spent in shallow social activity feels like a day lost to them because their souls crave purpose even in companionship. They seek friends who add to their growth, inspire new thoughts, or create spaces where their true self is accepted without question. This deep intentionality naturally filters out most casual connections, leaving them with only a handful of meaningful relationships. Even in the friendships they maintain, INFJs often need more space than most people expect. Their emotional world is constantly processing, reflecting, and creating, and to sustain that, they require periods of solitude. During these times, they might seem distant, but it is in this quiet that they recharge, gather clarity, and maintain their sense of self. Friendships that cannot survive these rhythms naturally fall away, while the rare ones that remain grow stronger because they are built on understanding rather than demand. The friendships that INFJs keep often last a lifetime because they are built on a foundation of profound depth and unwavering loyalty. Once an INFJ allows someone into their inner world, they're not just making a friend, they are forming a bond that feels sacred, almost unbreakable. They approach these rare relationships with a level of devotion that is hard to match, offering not just companionship, but a safe space where the other person is seen, heard, and understood in ways few people ever experience. For the INFJ, friendship is never casual. It is an emotional investment, a quiet promise to be there through every storm and season. They remember the small details about their friends, their fears, dreams, and silent struggles, and carry that awareness in their hearts as if it were their own. This emotional attunement creates a bond that can withstand distance, time, and even long periods of silence. Unlike friendships that require constant interaction to survive, INFJ friendships are rooted in trust and depth, allowing them to endure life's natural ebbs and flows without weakening. One reason these friendships last so long is the authenticity that underpins them. INFJs refuse to wear masks or engage in shallow performances with the people they truly care about. They show up as their raw, unfiltered selves, and they expect the same honesty in return. This mutual authenticity creates a rare environment where vulnerability thrives, and such bonds become nearly impossible to replace. It is why even after years apart, reconnecting with an INFJ friend often feels like no time has passed at all. The foundation of trust and understanding remains intact. Another factor that makes their friendships lifelong is the INFJ's loyalty. Betraying someone they love is unthinkable to them, and they often stand by their friends even in moments when others have walked away. They are the quiet supporters, the ones who offer a steady presence in crises, and the protectors of secrets that no one else may ever hear. This loyalty, combined with their ability to provide deep emotional support, makes them irreplaceable in the lives of the few friends they hold close. The rarity of these friendships also means that when they're broken, the INFJ feels the loss more deeply than most. Their emotional investment is so profound that betrayal or abandonment can leave scars that last for years. This is part of why they are so cautious in choosing their friends in the first place. They know that once they give their heart, it is not easily taken back. And for the friendships that survive the test of time, the reward is a bond that is as enduring as it is profound, a lifelong relationship built on understanding, love, and loyalty. If you're an INFJ who needs clarity, alignment, and a deeper connection with your true self, ensure to check out our INFJ playbook. Inside, you'll find everything you need to reconnect with your true self. The link is in the description of this video.